The highly anticipated Cobra Kai Season 6's second installment is quickly approaching, and the most significant moments from the Sekai Taikai tournament have been teased in the newly released trailer. Additionally, we have observed numerous significant details in the trailer, which confirm some of our presumptions. But what do we currently know? Well, let us dissect everything about Miguel. Now, we know Miguel will be under a lot of stress in part 2 as teased by the trailer. We saw a tense scene in which Miguel gets up and leaves the locker room, leaving behind his teammates. Additionally, there is a very touching scene where Miguel is crying and Johnny is consoling him. This is what I want to discuss. It is difficult to tell the problem. It may or may not be related to the tournament. Numerous theories have been raised by this scene, with some fans speculating that he is crying because a teammate, such as Robbie or her girlfriend Samantha, has suffered severe injuries. But first, let us take a look at every theory surrounding this plot. This could pertain to Sam. Either break up round 3 or she gets severely injured. But in all the leaks, we saw Sam being linked to Axel, like in that video taken at the beach. In the trailer, we're shown several fights with Sam involved in a street fight against Cobra Kai. I find it hard to believe that they're gonna have her injured, yet we know that she will face off in the elimination round. Elle thinks Sam and Miguel will be a bit at odds rather than her getting her alone. From the trailer dialogue, Sam seems to be taking a much gentler approach to make the team succeed, whereas Miguel is generally being a bit of a hard-ass. Going at Robbie for blowing his opportunity as captain, and the scene of him storming out of the locker room have me a little suspicious. It's possible that Sam might get annoyed with Miguel for trying hard enough and being too harsh. Miguel wasn't in the scene where Samantha is seen fighting Cobra Kai students in the alley, and we did not see Samantha in the hotel room, and Miguel seems to be pretty highly strung. Everyone on the team is under a lot of stress and pressure. Miguel crying, though, is not something that happens often. Another theory is that Johnny and Miguel will learn that her mother, Carmen, who is pregnant with Johnny's child, has a problem that requires immediate attention, which will scare the hell out of Miguel. Some fans have based on the fact that this scene of Miguel crying was connected with John Kreese's voice that said, "You have got a lot to lose." But remember, trailers can be extremely misleading, like Carmen, the baby, or both dying. Now, I don't believe this could happen because that would be so dark, honestly. They wouldn't kill off Carmen or her baby. No one wants this. Actually, Johnny would be way more broken up too in this scene, if that was the case. Some speculate that Miguel cries over Robbie getting injured or worse. However, I doubt Miguel would weep over Robbie, and Johnny does not exhibit any signs of mourning. From my perspective, this scene is less serious. I think it's over Sam and Axel because Miguel has been open to Johnny about his relationship with Sam. Or it might have to do with being rejected by a Stanford. Miguel receiving the news that he was not accepted into Stanford could potentially cause him to cry, and Johnny could console him by being the strong one in that situation. But wait, there's another fan theory about this. We know Miguel and his father Hector met in Season 5, and we were about to see the moment Hector learned the truth, but it did not happen. I am aware that Cobra Kai writers are very strategic and do not just throw a plot into the story for the sake of it. Usually they do that to build the plot for upcoming storylines. Thus, the Miguel and Hector storyline was obviously preserved for later. Hector appears to have finally discovered the truth in some form, and more importantly, he was able to watch the tournament on television. Since a Mexican team named Los Escorpiones Voladores is competing in the tournament, he could watch it. I believe there is a reason why the writers included it. So Hector could be tuned in and watch Miguel at the tournament, recognizing him and his moves. Miguel, on the other hand, saw Hector's dark side and realized that his father has no regrets and does not give a damn about his mom. So, in Season 6 Part 2, Hector could meet up with him at any time in a specific place. Hector would then admit how he treated him. However, Miguel may feel threatened if he notices Hector has followed him after what happened. It sounds like a bold claim, but many have pointed out that Miguel left his backpack in Mexico, which is certainly true because the last time we saw it was when it was sitting on the bed in Hector's guest room while Miguel was on the phone with Carmen, and then when Miguel finally reunited with Johnny after Miguel and Hector's meeting, the backpack is nowhere to be found. But then, later on in episode 8, we saw Miguel with that very same backpack as they're getting ready to train for the Sekai Taikai qualifier. Currently, there is either a plot hole in the story's continuity, or Miguel undoubtedly left his backpack in Mexico and chose to get another one later in the season. In any case, Hector might make a comeback in Season 6's plot, where he might meet Miguel and end up irritating him to the point where he cries out to Johnny, as we see in that scene. Or perhaps they could finally get along. However, the show has already made Hector as one of the bad guys in the show. To be honest, the story of Miguel and his father is still unfinished, but my point is that Miguel's issue in that scene could be related to either his difference with Samantha or the bad news from Stanford. Please share your thoughts in the comment section. As the premiere of the show draws near, we will be discussing all the theories that have been floating around in the fandom lately. For the time being, stay badass, strike first, strike hard, and show no mercy.